Words, the things that come out of our mouths during the course of the day, you, in every interaction and conversation and moment of your day, words are used. If I were walking alongside of me, listening to me, what would I conclude about me? If somebody else had no context about you, but journeyed alongside of you during the course of a week and listened to you or downloaded the transcript or played back the videotape, and all they had was just the words that came out of your mouth, what would they conclude about you? Now, first of all, time out. This is not just to make you feel guilty about, the 10 worst things you said in the past week or the times where you should have said something and you didn't. But think about it even in the broader sense. What would they conclude is important to you? A priority of your life? What dominates your conversation? What is the manner of your speech most of the time? In other words, are you positive and encouraging? Are you sarcastic? Do you tend to think like the world's against you? Like, how we communicate says something not just about the scope of your morality and whether you use good words or bad words and, what your score would be on the quality of your language. But I think even more so, what do your words say about your life, your heart, your character, your priorities? If you were walking alongside of you, listening to you, what would you conclude about you? And again, it's more than just a be nice, or I shouldn't have said that, or I probably should have said something there, or I said way too many of those words, or whatever. It's beyond that to what do your words say about you? Not surprising, the book of Proverbs gets very practical about this. And in fact, I mentioned a few weeks ago that you could read through Proverbs in a month because there's 31 chapters. Confession of a pastor before you as somebody who's in the middle of that. I don't know when I started, but I'm right about Proverbs chapter 20. Proverbs is very repetitive. It's almost tough to continue in for like 31 days in a row because I found myself saying, did I not move my bookmark? Did I read this yesterday? Because there's the same themes that come back over. But then I think about the people who have been wise inside of my life, who have given good advice. They've sometimes repeated themselves because you know that everything comes back to a few basic principles inside of your life. And so for the writer of Proverbs, for Solomon, he wants to talk about character. And he wants to talk about, wisdom, not just being smart or being, moral, but what it means to be wise. And then another word that comes up over and over again is prudence. Now, prudence sounds like an old-fashioned word. We don't use it a whole lot. But to be prudent means to not just be stuck in the here and now, but to make decisions in light of the bigger picture and in light of the future. So everything inside of Proverbs comes back to what is the wise thing to do? What's the reconstruction of my character look like? How do I live not just for the here and now, but inside of the big picture of what's taking place? And therefore then, words are a huge part of that. Words, Proverbs about speech, the tongue, words, conversation occur 149 verses at least. There's some other things that reference it, but at least 149 verses of the 900 verses in Proverbs. 31 chapters, 900 verses, about 150 of them involve directly this idea of speech and words and conversations. Just under 20%. It's that important to Solomon. It's that crucial to the development of your character, wisdom, and prudence inside of your life. And as you can tell, there's a wide range about conflict, about truth, about relationships, about the effect that your words have on other people, about showing hospitality and graciousness inside of your speech, how communication builds community or tears down other people.